check this out. If you're of a certain age, you might remember NME. What was the other one? Melody Maker. There were 3 titles in the 70s, 80s, weren't there, of musical magazines? It's not like that anymore, of course, because of the internet. And Rolling Stone would have been very important in the 70s and 80s, maybe not so much now, or if it is, it's online. It's all online, isn't it? This is Blitz. This is Portugal's music magazine. And this week, or is it this month, I wonder? It's probably this month. Look, yeah, Novembro 2024. Not cheap, this one, and that's because it's a commemorative edition. I can barely fit it on the screen. Look, there you go. 40 years of music being celebrated here in Portugal. And if you zoom in and translate on the cover there, you can't really read it because the type is too small. Hold on a minute. I need to just make sure Pete's, in case I do turn this into a short, we can't have that comment on there. I should always read Peter's comments first before I commit them to the screen. Anyway, as featured in Blitz's 40th anniversary special, the 40 best Portuguese music records. So this is a great way to learn about the Portuguese music and culture. The legend of preachings and declarations, I guess the musical messages over the last 40 years, the covers and photos that left Mars. Well, we know that left a mark, right? That didn't. Don't tell Elon about that. The concerts that went into history and a great interview with Pedro Abrunhosa, and you'll find out more about Pedro if you buy the magazine. But I'll just show you. Let me see if I can find all the bands you will be familiar with, like Zutos e Pontaps, GNR, all the big names that you may know already are in there, and you'll learn a bit as well. And it's beautifully laid out, beautiful graphics, great photos, as you would expect from a historical document about the music of Portugal. So absolutely loving that. Well worth buying that. It'll only cost you 15 euros, but it is. I think Portuguese people like to collect a commemorative edition. So there you go. That's Blitz Magazine's 40th anniversary. Sounds, that was the other one. And I loved Record Mirror because I was into the dance music, and they had the dance chart in there by James Hamilton. And we were top of the dance chart in there for weeks and weeks, the Funky Worm. And by the way, if any of you are aware that I was in a band in the 80s called the Funky Worm, oh yes, I kid you not, seemed like a good idea at the time. It's being re-released this year. It's coming out as a remix, and I think as the original as well. So that's going to be due for release, I think, early in the new year. Really excited about that. My goodness, could it really be nearly 40 years later? Oh, yikes. Wow. Okay, back to the chat then.